start the class. We were here. यहाँ से wherever you are से थे कि इधर से थे? Are you worried? I think here. Anybody remembers? ठीक है, यहाँ से थे. Are you worried? Do you have many what if thoughts? You are identified with your mind, which is projecting itself into an imaginary future situation and creating fear. There is no way that you can cope up with such a situation because it doesn't exist. It's a mental phantom. You can stop this health and life corroding insanity simply by acknowledging the present moment. Become aware of your breathing. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Feel your inner energy field. All that you ever had to deal with, cope with in real life, as opposed to imaginary mind projections, is this moment. Ask yourself what problem you have right now, not next year, tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. What is wrong with this moment? You can always cope up. You can always cope with the now, but you can never cope up with the future, nor do you have to. The answer, the strength, the right action, or the resource will be there when you need it. Not before, not after. One day I'll make it. Is your goal taking up so much of your attention that you reduce the present moment to a means to an end? Is it taking the joy out of your doing? Are you waiting to start living? If you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. The future will always seem better. A perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Don't you agree? Are you a habitual waiter? How much of your life do you spend waiting? What I call small scale waiting is waiting in line at the post office, in a traffic jam, at the airport, or waiting for someone to arrive to finish work, and so on. Large scale waiting is waiting for the next vacation, for a better job, for the children to grow up, for a truly meaningful relationship, for success, to make money, to be important, to become enlightened. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Waiting is a state of mind. Basically, it means that you want the future. You don't want the present. You don't want what you've got, and you want what you haven't got. With every kind of waiting, you unconsciously create inner conflict between your here and now, where you don't want to be, and the projected future where you want to be. This greatly reduces the quality of your life by making you lose the present. There is nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. It's already whole, complete, perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances, your your experiences. There is nothing wrong with setting goals and striving to achieve things. The mistake lies in using it as a substitute for the feeling of life, for being. The only point of access for that is the now. You are then like an architect who pays no attention to the foundation of the building, but spends a lot of time working on the superstructure. So, to be in the now, to be present in the actual moment of creation is in the now. बट हम सारा टाइम अपनी अटेंशन फ्यूचर में लेके जीते हैं. कल ये होगा तो मैं होगा, कल ऐसे होगा तो फिर ठीक हो जाएगा, कल ये हो जाएगा तो मैं खुश होगा. But whereas, it's like running after your own shadow. That thing is never going to come to you. Because whatever, happens, whatever you're thinking today, you'll be thinking on the same lines, but the external object or event or a situation would be different. So आज अगर मैं कल के मील के बारे में सोच रहा हूं, तो कल हो सकता है मैं परसों के पार्टी के बारे में सोच रहा हूं, because then the attention is always outward. You are never in the now. Whereas when you are in the now, and especially all those people coming from the magic book and the power book, if you are in the now and you are blessing whatever you have right now, that's the best way forward. It's not ki don't have aspirations, have dreams, have goals. It's okay. We made dream lists, we made, as per whatever we want. But then what did we do for the whatever is here in the now? We gave it gratitude. We were counting it as our blessing. So आज जो हमारे पास है, अगर हम उसको अपने पीछे से कंपेयर करेंगे, हम साल पहले, 2 साल पहले, 5 साल पहले, 10 साल पहले, this is probably what we wished for at that time. I mean, if you guys have made your dream list, just review it every 6 months, 1 year, and you will realize that, out of those 20, 30 things which you had written, probably 1 or 2 have been completed. So अगर हम आज को एक blessing माने और एक present माने और उसमें, pay our gratitude to whatever we have right now, rather than always being in the future mentality कि ये होगा तो अच्छा हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा तो ये हो जाएगा. Appreciate what you have. It's a blessing. अगर आज आपके पास सांस है और वो चल रही है, you're blessed. And this blessing comes to you nearly every second of your life. The time it does not come, it's a different world altogether. So for each and every breath we take in the now, pay gratitude. You are blessed for everything you have right now. खाने के लिए खाना है. Thank you God. It's in the now. But फ्यूचर में कल हम रेस्टोरेंट में जाके ये खाएंगे, खा लेना यार. जो अभी खा रहे हो उसको तो रेलिश कर लो. जो अभी आपके प्लेट पे सामने है, which is going to satisfy the hunger of this moment, this present moment. We need to be thankful first for that. And for that, we need to be in the present moment. We need to have our attention in the present moments rather than, the attention and the awareness going haywire into some other external or some other future events or some other past events. So in the now रहने के लिए, gratitude is very important and very essential. Because होता क्या है, for the mind to wander is very easy. It's very easy. Mind के tension, five senses mind को help कर रहे हैं. So you see something, your attention, your awareness goes there. You hear something, your attention or your awareness goes there. And you smell something, your attention and your awareness goes. So that's never in the now then. क्या हो रहा है वहां पे? Oh, वो क्या हो रहा है? Like that. So, but when you're in the now and you are just thanking the universe, the Almighty, the energy, whatever name, the God, the Almighty, whatever name you want to call it, absolutely personal choice. But then, yes, that's a blessing you have. And if you look back, that's something you wished for at that time. So we need to appreciate and we need to be thankful for what we have right now rather than always being in कल क्या होगा, परसों क्या होगा, महीने के बाद क्या होगा, 2 महीने के बाद क्या होगा. That is why the present moment is called a present. It's a gift. We need to cherish that gift every moment. सांस है यार, क्या टेंशन है? We are blessed. So in the now, always make sure that there's a lot of gratitude, there's a lot of thank you, and there's a lot of emphasis on this fact that we are blessed. And trust me, we are all truly blessed. हमारे पास खाने के लिए रोटी है, पहनने के लिए अच्छे कपड़े हैं, घूमने के लिए गाड़ियां हैं, AC है, all comforts are there. He has been so kind to us. So we are actually blessed. A lot of people don't have. So it's okay. We don't need to compare. But yes, if we have this comfort, we can always be thankful. So next time you get into your car, and especially in the summers, when the seats are so burnt out, and just be blessed that you have a car and be blessed that you have an AC is going to take care of it. For example, many people are waiting for prosperity. It cannot come in the future. When you honor, acknowledge, and fully accept your present reality, where you are, who you are, what you're doing right now, when you fully accept what you've got, you are grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being. Gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life now is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. If you are dissatisfied with what you have got, or even frustrated or angry about your present lack, that may motivate you to become rich. But even if you do make millions, you will continue to experience the inner condition of lack. And deep down, you will continue to feel unfulfilled. You may have many exciting experiences that money can buy, but they will come and go and always leave you with an empty feeling and the need for further physical or psychological gratification. You won't abide in being and so feel the fullness of life. Now that alone is true prosperity. So give up waiting as a state of mind. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being. If you are present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So next time somebody says, sorry to have kept you waiting, you can reply, that's all right. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself. Enjoy in myself. These are just a few of the habitual mind strategies for denying the present moment that are part of ordinary unconsciousness. They are easy to overlook because they are so much part of the normal being, the background static of perpetual discontent. But the more you practice monitoring your inner mental emotional state, the easier it will be to know when you have been trapped in past or future, which is to say, unconscious, and to awaken out of the dream of time into the present. But beware, the false, unhappy self based on mind identification lives on time. It knows that the present moment is its own death, and so feels very threatened by it. It will do all it can to take you out of it. It will try to keep you trapped in time. So, when somebody gets you waiting, and general tendency, if you are late for a meeting, you say, sorry, yaar, I got late. I mean, we've talked about it earlier. That can always have a different way of saying it. So rather than saying that, sorry, I am late, you can always say, thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for your patience. So if you are late and the other person also says, sorry, you can always respond in a better manner. No, it's okay. I was enjoying being myself. And that is the beauty of being in the present moment. That is because you take and accept life, or probably acknowledge it first and then acceptance comes later. It as life is taken as it is. जो है जैसा भी है, अच्छा बुरा, good bad, painful, pleasurable, anything, it is taken in its truest state, and accepting whatever is coming your way as it is, without your jack. So if you are going to work and suddenly there is a traffic jam, general tendency is to get frustrated. No, you can enjoy that jam. See, remember, each and everything which is meant to be in your life will happen at the right time, at the right place. All you need to be is in total acceptance of what is. So अगर हमें लगता है कि हम ट्रैफिक को मैन्यूवर करके जल्दी पहुंच जाएंगे, then that means you were meant to be there early. But in that process, if we lose our calm, टेंशन में आ जाएं, हॉर्न मारना शुरू कर दे, लोगों को गालियां निकालनी शुरू कर दे, who's at a loss? किसका पीस ऑफ माइंड हिला? In a traffic jam, if you generally notice, so it's not that you are the only one stuck in a traffic jam. Okay, there are a lot of people. That is why it is a jam. So a lot of people will be on the different scale where they will be frustrated, गालियां निकाल रहे होंगे, हॉर्न पे हॉर्न बजा रहे होंगे, and a lot of people would be just there enjoying. What is the difference? Traffic jam तो सबके लिए same है. How is it that some people are reacting in a different manner, some people are reacting in a totally different manner, and some people are neutral? है तो भी ठीक है, नहीं है तो भी ठीक है. What's it in the jam? That's the same for all. But it's how your mind is perceiving it and projecting it to you. That's how the reaction comes. So whatever is external is always a reality, which is a fact, which is common to all. But the way our mind sees it and projects it to us is different for everybody. So you can have 4 people in a car stuck in a traffic jam where all 4 will have different responses. एक को गुस्सा आ रहा होगा, पागल हो रहा होगा, एक न्यूट्रल बैठा है आराम से, जो भी अपने फोन पे कर रहा है, एक बंदा होगा टोटली इन द नाव में होगा और वो कहा यार क्या मजेदार, इसी तो चल रहा है. You'll have different people in the same car. So it's the same car, it is the same jam, And probably if this, that was a carpool, they would be in the same office also. But there'll be 4 different responses. So is it something in the outside that is changing their responses? No, it is something in the inside that is forming that opinion of what is outside. जो outside में है, that is a fact, that is reality. It is same for all. So if there are 50 cars stuck, that traffic jam is same for all 50. But the response of all 50 would not be the same, because how your mind is going to project that external situation is going to be totally different. So बाहर में कुछ नहीं है, सारा का सारा गेम माइंड की परसेप्शन का है. The inner purpose of your life's journey. I can see the truth of what you are saying, but I still think that we must have purpose on our life's journey. Otherwise, we just drift. And purpose means future, doesn't it? How do we reconcile that with living in the present? When you are on a journey, it is certainly helpful to know where you're going, or at least the general direction in which you are moving. But don't forget, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step you are taking at this moment. That's all there is. Your life's journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, to achieve this or that, which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps you are going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you are going or what you're doing, but everything to do with how. It has nothing to do with future, but everything to do with the quality of your consciousness at this moment. The outer purpose belongs to the horizontal dimension of space and time. The inner purpose concerns a deepening of your being in the vertical dimension of the timeless now. Your outer journey may contain a million steps. Your inner journey only has one, the step you are taking right now. As you become more deeply aware of this one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality. It will have taken you into being, and the light of being will shine through it. This is both the purpose and the fulfillment of your inner journey, the journey onto yourself. Say, as the famous saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. और हर एक स्टेप का एक अपना पर्पस, एक अपना इम्पोर्टेंस होता है. So what if you, even if you have a goal to get to that step or to get to that state which is at that 1000 step, you have to take and enjoy the purpose and the beauty of each and every step one by one. And that can only be if you are in that now. You cannot be at step 1, not be present in that moment on being step 1 and thinking about step 15. That is what you can see at that time. So every step will have its own purpose, its own importance, its own beauty. And that can only be visible to you if you are in that now, in that step, in that purpose of that step. So goal सबके होंगे. That is an outer purpose. Inner purpose in the now में. उसको complete करके, that is the whole beauty of enjoying the journey. Rather than just being bothered about the end result, it's more about experiencing and enjoying the journey at each and every step by being in the now, in that moment. Does it matter whether we achieve our outer purpose, whether we succeed or fail in the world? It will matter to you as long as you haven't realized your inner purpose. After that, the outer purpose is just a game that you may continue to play simply because you enjoy it. It is also possible to fail completely in your outer purpose and at the same time totally succeed in your inner purpose, or the other way around, which is actually more common. Outer riches and inner poverty, or to gain the world and lose every soul, as Jesus puts it. Ultimately, of course, every outer purpose is doomed to fail sooner or later simply because it is subject to the law of impermanence of all things. The sooner you realize that your outer purpose cannot give you lasting fulfillment, the better. When you have seen the limitations of your outer purpose, you give up your unrealistic expectation that it should make you happy, and you make it subservient to your inner purpose. There's a very famous story. So there is this guy who needs a lot of people to work for him in his factory. So he goes around and starts searching for people, starts to convince them to work for him. So he meets a guy who's standing एक पेड़ के नीचे बैठा है आराम से, chilled in his own zone, totally chilled out. He asks him कि आप यहाँ बैठे हो, आराम से बैठे हो, कुछ काम ही कर लो. वो कहता है काम करके क्या होगा, काम करके आपको पैसा मिलेगा, मैं आपको पैसा दूंगा. कहता पैसे से मैं क्या करूंगा, पैसे से आप अपने लिए खाना खरीदोगे, बढ़िया कपड़े खरीदोगे. कहता उससे मेरे को क्या मिलेगा, अगर मैं एक कपड़ा ले लूंगा, खाना ले लूंगा, मेरे को क्या मिलेगा. कहते हैं आप यू विल बी एट सच ईज. कहते तो मैं अभी क्या कर रहा हूँ, आई एम एंजॉयिंग. सो आई एम इन द नाउ, एंजॉयिंग व्हाटएवर आई हैव. मैं घूम फिर के काम भी करूं, पैसे भी कमाऊं, फिर खाना खाऊं, फिर और कपड़े खरीदूं. एंड में मुझे क्या करना है, खुश रहना है. मैं तो अभी खुश हूं. सो सी, इट्स लाइक you can be happy, you can be in that innermost state of being right by being in the present moment, but we want to go take a round and then come. Whereas happiness is always in the now. It is the state of that being. But हमें है कि नहीं, हम ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, वो करेंगे, एंड में उधर. You can always be there now. The past cannot survive in your presence. You mentioned that thinking or talking about the past unnecessarily is one of the ways in which we avoid the present. But apart from the past that we remember and perhaps identify with it, isn't there another level of past within us that is much more deep seated? I'm talking about the unconscious past that conditions our lives, especially through early childhood experiences, perhaps even past life experiences. And then there is our cultural conditioning, which has to do with where we live geographically and the historical time period in which we live. All these things determine how we see the world, how we react, what we think, what kind of relationships we have, how we live our lives. How could we ever become conscious of all that and get rid of it? How long would that take? And even if we did, what would there be left? What is left when illusion ends? There is no need to investigate the unconscious past in you, except as it manifests at this moment as a thought, an emotion, a desire, a reaction, or an external event that happens to you. Whatever you need to know about the unconscious past in you, the challenges of the present will bring it out. If you delve into the past, it will become a bottomless pit. There is always more. You may think that you need more time to understand the past or become free of it. In other words, that the future will eventually free you of the past. This is a delusion. Only the present can free you from the past. More time cannot free you of time. Access the power of now. That is the key. So, what is the power of now? None other than the power of your presence, your consciousness, liberated from your thought forms. So, deal with the past on the level of the present. The more attention you give to the past, the more you energize it, and the more likely you are to make a self out of it. Don't misunderstand. Attention is essential, but not to the past as past. Give attention to the present. Give attention to your behavior, to your reactions, moods, thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires as they occur in the present. There is the past in you. If you can be present enough to watch all those things, not critically or analytically, but non judgmentally, then you are dealing with the past and dissolving it through the power of your presence. You cannot find yourself by going into the past, you find yourself by coming into the present. Isn't it helpful to understand the past? So, understand why we do certain things, react in certain ways, or why we unconsciously create our particular kind of drama, patterns in relationships, and so on. As you become more conscious of your present reality, you may suddenly get certain insights as to why your conditioning functions in those particular ways. For example, why your relationships follow certain patterns, and you may remember things that happen in the past or see them more dearly. That is fine and can be helpful, but it is not essential. What is essential is your conscious presence that dissolves the past. That is the transformative agent. So don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence, it can only survive in your absence.